Last week, we embarked on a 3-day, which really turned into a 4-day Instagram study. During the course of these 4 days, I asked you to post a series of images, making changes to each day with what you were saying and how you posted. We took all of that information and we compiled it and built some data to show us which techniques were actually working the best and which ones possibly needed to get adjusted. So each of these techniques that I had you work on, they were all part of my strategy. Not my whole strategy, but a small piece of my strategy. And the results were really interesting to me. What was even more exciting was how many of you reported that just in those 3 days that these changes resulted in business through Instagram. That is huge because guys, it was only 3 days. Okay, 4 days, I know. I totally added that on there. But still, that is incredible. So over the course of the next couple slides, I want to show you what some of this looked like. And I'm going to show you some of your own posts so you can see how the activity and all the excitement of Instagram was happening. You can see how individual businesses have benefited from being part of the study. You know, a lot of people had asked, so why are we doing this? What's the benefit to us to do the study? Well, honestly, there was no benefit to you to do the study. I needed people that would volunteer to be involved so that I could provide this information here now to everybody. You know, Instagram has most certainly changed. It no longer is easy to hop up on that soapbox and start sharing your message. So we've got to learn to dodge and weave and make changes to make our business better. So here's a look at 3, 4 days and all of the fun that we had, along with some of the incredible results that we've seen. Here goes. As the study began, we were ecstatic to see designers from all over the globe. Almost every continent got involved. Florists like Joe Massey from the UK, florists like Little Wild Bloom in Florida, and then Enraptured Events, and I'm not 100% sure where she's from, but I was so excited to have her here. People from all walks of life, all design levels, skill levels, and all styles were part of this study. This was really an incredible look at Instagram as florist and wedding designers came together. You know, as designers, we are much different. And it's really wonderful when we can see things that are custom tailored just to us. So day one, we started out with a bang, really quick, 3 images posted back to back to back. Below each image, we asked that you described what you like about that image. And what we found was awesome. On day one, the images were everywhere. Every few minutes, I saw new images posted, and I didn't even have any information to collect on day one. But I was so excited to see all of this beautiful work. We have such an incredible industry. We create not only beautiful things regularly, but we create them for people that are going to remember these forever. And now in the time of social media, we're able to share these images and keep them in our own portfolios, in our own gallery. It's really incredible. Okay, so day 3, you posted your images. You weren't quite sure what you were doing, but you were following the directions, and I really appreciate that. Then on day 2, I asked you to do essentially the same thing. I asked you to post 3 images from the same event, similar styles, and describing what you like about each of them. The difference was, this time I asked you to spread the images out throughout the course of the day so that they were not right next to each other back to back. They were still right next to each other on your feed, but not where everybody was seeing them immediately one after the other. And this is what the interesting results, or what was interesting about the results. What I saw was that it didn't matter. With the new algorithm, it does not matter if you post all your images together or you spread them out throughout the day. They were both getting almost identical number of hits and interactions across the board, which I thought was really interesting. For day 3, again I had you post 3 images, and this time I gave you a specific direction. The direction was 3 separate options you had to choose from. One was to pose a question, something simple like, can you name the rose variety? What color would you call these dahlias? Something really quick that someone could answer without thinking much. But they do pause, which is part of what we want them to do. Option B that you could have used was to tell your followers what you're looking for and be very specific. So I learned this early in business that you draw more people in when you tell them exactly what it is you're looking for, a niche kind of thing. And even if they don't respond, they're going to remember that. Now, option C was to tell your followers exactly what to do. Now, this one gets me all the time. If I'm scrolling down and I see someone wrote double tap on an image, I do. My brain just does it. And a lot of people are like that. They'll see an instruction and they'll just do it. Afterwards, they may wonder why they did that, but regardless, it's a way to get people to interact. So this day was really cool. We definitely saw an increase. Again, across the board consistently, almost everyone reported increases, and we saw increases in the counts and the number of interactions and likes on these images. There was a significant difference between day 1 and 2 and day 3. And then there's day 4 that I added. And I added this as a result to one of the posts on the Facebook group. And I'm known for telling stories. If you have ever seen my posts, you'll see sometimes I'll have 2-part, 3-part, 5-part stories that keep you coming back, keep you interested. Now, the reason I do these stories is I was trying to find a way to beat the algorithm as it started to change. I figured if I couldn't get my images to show up on a regular basis, then I was going to find a way to get the few people that did see my images come back again intentionally to see what I have next. And the only way for me to do that was to leave them with a cliffhanger, kind of like an episode or chapter. You want to know what happens next. So that is why I started telling stories in multiple parts. Now these stories take a long time, so I don't do them all the time. It's not like every day I'm telling a story. But when I do tell the stories, they get a lot of attention. So this story here I chose, this was Jennifer. She's been to our workshops, our conference, she's been to lots of events. And I chose her because I liked her story. I thought it was great. I liked the way she broke it up. I also liked the images that she chose. She chose an image of her intense and showing her working and focused. And then the second images was her showing her joy, looking straight at you, saying, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and I am so flipping happy. I thought it was great. Okay, that was my version of her story, not necessarily hers. I encourage you all to read it. So what I found here on day 4 was astronomical. The amount of interactions with the stories were 2, 3, sometimes 10 times what we were seeing with the other posts. So stories by far was going to be the thing that helped your algorithm the most. So that there is what I was looking for. I was looking for what was going to get the attention of the algorithm to have your images viewed most often. And as you can see, the stories definitely were hands down the most popular, followed by asking a direct question, giving a direction, and then it doesn't matter what time of day you are posting, with this new algorithm, and it doesn't matter how close together your images are with the new algorithm. There may be some technical studies out there that are saying differently, but this is what I'm finding through this study. And for me as a florist, I know I'm different. I know I'm not like everyone. I know I'm not like all the other businesses and the photographers and the coaches that are using this. I'm a florist and I want to work Instagram in a way that brings me real, tangible business as a wedding florist, as a wedding designer. And these techniques are what works for me. So we asked a few other questions, and this was just out of curiosity when we sent you your final step, which was to answer the survey. So the interesting thing was the highest majority of favorite days of posting were the 3 images that were back to back, all posted at one time. The reason I feel that that is the most popular day for designers, I think, was because you didn't have to go back to Instagram multiple times. You could go to Instagram, do your post, your 3 for the day, and you were done. So I have not asked everyone individually why it was their favorite, but just looking at the results and how everything worked, that's what I feel very strongly with why that was the favorite day. Day number 4, where I asked you to tell a story in 2 parts, was the least completed. I believe out of the 374 people that started the study, there was 65 to 70 people. I have to look back at that number. I believe it was 65 to 70 people that actually told the story, that actually took the time to do the story post. And I genuinely believe the reason for that is it takes a lot of time. It's an investment. Instagram might be free. It might not cost you any money, but it definitely takes your time. If you're going to be on Instagram and just post a few images here or there and expect business from it, it's most likely not going to happen. Maybe you might hit the lottery and one will come your way, but unless you work it, unless you put some attention into it, this marketing platform will not bring you business. But what I will say, in just the 4 days of the study, there were many people that reported back they received inquiries, upwards of 4 inquiries for new business as a direct result of Instagram during the course of the study. This was one of the questions that we'd asked when we sent out that survey. And that was proof enough for me that this was the right direction. Even if this didn't get the algorithm the way I wanted, the fact that real business was being acquired as a result of Instagram and as a result of these actions, that's what I'm looking for. I could care less if everyone sees my picture. I could care less if everyone likes my picture. I am on Instagram for business. I am on Instagram so that I can generate revenue for my company, for my family, to make my life easier. That's what Instagram is for me. I'm looking for brides and grooms. I do almost exclusively weddings. So the images I'm posting on Instagram, I want to bring that business to me. And if you're here in the study and you're listening to the results, I am pretty sure that you want that for yourself as well. There's no point in spending an hour a day, maybe even more than that, on a marketing avenue that's not bringing your business. So what it comes down to is putting the social back in social media. You know, it doesn't help if we just have a bazillion likes and hits and nobody's actually hiring us. We actually want real business. So we need to be real. If you're going to use Instagram, you need to be real. Thank you to everyone for being part of these results and part of this study. This has really been eye-opening, and I have a feeling that we'll do this again as things change and things adjust. I have a really good feeling as to the direction of social media, and I am eager to bend and adjust and make changes to make this platform continue to work for us, to continue to drive business to our companies. Again, thank you. And I can't wait to meet you in person during the Intrigue Tour of 2018. I'll be stopping in almost every state from Maine to Hawaii, and I am dying to share all these incredible techniques and experiences that I've been able to incorporate and build my brand and build my business over the last decade plus. All of this information that I have, I'm going to be sharing with you. And I'm going to do it in a way that we understand as florists, as designers, as those that are passionate about flowers, and passionate about weddings and our career. I am like you. I built my business the way you're building your business. And it is an honor to be traveling to share this with you. So I can't wait to meet you, and I'll see you in your state.